Hey guys, this is Matt Ramsey with the Octave Higher East Voice Studio, and this is Octave Higher TV, episode 12. I'm here with Kev Bev and Candace Collins of the Woodland Creatures. Say hi, Kev.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, let's get it started.
Behind those pretty eyes, oh, she's so sad.
Well, guys, this week I thought it would be a really, really fantastic treat, and it's definitely an honor for me to have a couple great students like Kevin and Candace in here because to me, I think that they really represent the idea of a professional vocalist. They're in a very successful, very popular band right now, and they're playing tons and tons of shows. So I think both voice lessons and vocal technique are really, really probably pretty important to what they do. And I think it's pretty cool to kind of get a perspective on maybe the evolution of how things have changed for them over the last year. So let's go ahead and get it started with that. Candace, I want to get started with you. Have you noticed any changes to your singing voice over the last year?
I have. I've noticed a lot of changes in my singing voice over the last year since I've been coming and taking lessons with Matt. Mainly, I've been able to build a lot more power behind it, which has then given me more control over my singing voice. I've been able to pick out when I'm sharp and when I'm falling flat, which is something I wasn't able to do before, and I have a little bit wider of a range now.
Is the feeling the sharpness or flatness, is that a feeling that you're getting, or is that just something that you can hear better now?
It's something that I can hear better now.
Okay.
Yeah, and another thing that I would say has changed over the last year is I'm able to work with my vowels better now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're maybe just a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. How about for you, Kevin?
The vowel thing. I didn't realize that I was saying certain words, letters, and the way I was singing it would mess with the pitch. Mm-hmm. And that was something that was really interesting. I feel that I would come in kind of timid as a kind of... I would think of myself as a quiet singer, mm-hmm. And now I feel like I'm a louder, stronger, more confident singer.
Yeah, and how would you describe your music?
Funk, soul, R&B, party.
Candace, anything to add there?
Hip hop and reggae as well.
Okay. So in these particular genres, the power is pretty important, right? So funk, soul, I'm thinking of like a lot of really, really powerful, really amazing singers. People like Al Green. I know on your website it talks about Fela Kuti from Lagos in Nigeria, who is also really, really important for both rhythmic and for vocal reasons. So let's go ahead and talk about the way that you treat your voices differently now as opposed to maybe I guess it was about 9-10 months ago when we first started working together. How has your band changed? How has your voice changed? Kevin, why don't you get started?
Well, we practice our vocals more now.
I like that. I like that a lot.
We started the singers because we have 3 other singers, so we all will get together before the gig and start warming up, going over our parts and making sure that our voices are warm and ready to rock.
Cool. Candace?
And we know how to practice now, which is very important. It makes us more confident in practicing, and we know what we're getting out of certain exercises now.
What is your practice regimen?
Well, as far as like throughout the week, it's not really standardized. It's not like this night I'm going to put in my Matt Ramsey CD and go through it. It's more like whenever we're in the car, whenever we're in the shower, like definitely like 30 minutes before we leave the house for every show. Mm-hmm. It's something we don't go to a show without anymore, no matter how busy we are. It's really random. Sometimes I'll be singing in the house and I'll notice that he has sat down at the piano and he's starting to play the notes. It's just always.
It's like it's really ubiquitous. It's like everywhere.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what is it about that practice that does it help you feel better, or does it just kind of like help you get in the zone vocally, or do you really feel like there's something physical that actually improves when you do it?
I think there's definitely something physical that improves, but more so it's just like practice makes perfect as far as it reminds you the certain techniques you need to be doing that, if I only saw you once a week and didn't remind me of those things throughout the week, I might just constantly forget because there's a lot to remember.
There is.
So.
And the thing that I'm always bringing up is like the voice is an organic instrument. It's flesh and blood, and it's also stuff that you can't really see, like a guitar, like a bass, or like your drum set. It's just like for so many people, it's just so like ambiguous and ethereal, and they can't see it, they can't really feel it. It's weird. So the only way that you really can get like a handle on that type of instrument is like, years of practice and really getting a handle on it. Very cool. So what is next for you guys vocally? What are your vocal goals over the next year? Kevin?
I want to get my riffing better. Riffing as in like the notes in between notes, like oh. Like
runs
and riffs. I also want to get my increase my volume, I feel more confident. I feel more prepared when I go on stage now, and I want to keep upping my game a little bit.
I want to just continue to build confidence so that I'm singing the same notes in my songs the same way every time without surprises.
And what challenges do you guys face now when you go on stage? Maybe have they changed at all from a year ago? Are they the same?
They're the same.
They're the same challenges. And what are those?
We cannot hear ourselves over our 8-piece band. Ever. Maybe one out of every 10 gigs, we're lucky enough to hear ourselves for a few songs. So we really have to be able to be great singers to shoot in the dark every time we're on stage.
And how do you deal with that? With not being able to hear yourself?
I put my mouth all over the microphone and I just like, I kiss the mic and I just like, I have to push from like my inside of my soul to get the power to come through. Mm-hmm. And you just have to listen to front of house. If the monitors aren't loud enough, you just have to like, just pull from your reserves and get more power.
So one way I'm hearing is forcing it, and the other way is, asking for it. And these are like real, like actual problems that real musicians face all the time. So it's like when we're in here, it's like we're in like La La Land and everything's perfect and you can hear yourself because I've got a beautiful speaker right there and all these microphones and I'm right here. But when you're actually out in the world on like Dirty Sixth and you're playing a gig and the speakers have been blown out over years and years of overuse and there's no monitors, these are real issues. One thing that I've noticed, the more that I've taken lessons, I'm actually able better to feel where the correct notes are, even if I can't hear myself. I've played gigs like that for sure. Have you experienced that, Candace?
Yeah, with practice is the only way that you can get to that point where you can feel semi-confident, even though you can't hear yourself, just, based on the energy that's coming out of you and techniques with your mouth and your tongue. Things that I didn't know before. And also, Matt taught me the ear trick, which you hate to do on stage, but in desperate situations, it's good to have there.
Talk about the ear trick. What is the ear trick?
Oh, just like, before I would, try to do like one of these but to bend the ear kind of forward and flat helps.
So that you can hear yourself?
So that you can hear yourself, yeah.
Right on. Cool. I like little tips and tricks.
I was talking about the one where you plug one ear and you can hear the kind of, when you plug your one ear or you put an earplug in, you can hear it vibrating, the pitch vibrating in your head, so you'll know if you're off or not. Another cool thing is I've seen really good singers in town just be like, very discreetly, they'll be like, they do the sound check and they make sure that they get it as loud as possible. Yeah. And they spend the time and they're like, I need more. I feel bad asking for that, but I've gotten us in the habit of just asking till you can hear yourself. With the big band, it's hard.
Good. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's just like one of those things. It's like you feel kind of like humbled being in like somebody else's space. You're a little bit timid about asking for what you need, but you really do have to advocate for your needs as well. And just to wrap up, what goals do you guys have for your band over this next year? Candace, why don't you get started?
Oh, okay. We want to hit up the local festival circuit. We want to do a lot of the more family-friendly things as well, because I think our music just speaks to such a broad range of fans. So, the things like the Hot Sauce Festival and like the Ice Cream Festival, all the things that the Bat Fest, whatever. Draws big crowds, and of course, Utopia Fest, ACL, those types of things we like to get into as well. Fun.
Kevin, agreed?
Yeah, we're also going to put a new record, and you can hear us on, we're on Spotify and iTunes now, our new record, Kev Bev and the Woodland Creatures.
Awesome. And what's the name of the album?
The album's called Domesticated.
Awesome.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. And you're recording tons of new music all the time too. So we're super excited to hear more from you guys. Thank you so much for your time. I know that you guys are like the two busiest people that I know. So thank you for your time, and thanks for being awesome students.
Thanks for having
Cool. Yeah.
Thanks for teaching us stuff, man.
For sure. All right, guys. This is Matt Ramsey with Kev Bev Collins and Candace Collins of the Kev Bev and the Woodland Creatures. Have a great week. Bye.
The love, he had the love, he had the love, he had the hate, he had the love, he had the love, he had the love, he had the hate, he had the love, he had the love, he